Hello, my name is Joy Lambert, and I am the Child and Adolescent Studies Librarian at Public Library. This video will go over the CAS 301 APA PsycInfo exercise. This exercise is designed to help familiarize you with how to use APA PsycInfo to find research for your assignments for CAS 301 and other classes as you continue your educational journey as a CAS major here at CSUF. The scenario for this exercise is that you have been given an assignment where your professor is asking you to research the effects of dual immersion education on language development of school-aged children. You are also being asked to use peer-reviewed empirical articles published within the last 10 years. In my experience working with CAS faculty and students, this is a very realistic scenario. You will often be given parameters similar to these for research projects as CAS majors.
Just a quick note before we get started. Please don't worry if the number of results that you get in your searches differ from the number of results shown in the video. New articles are added to the database all the time, and as more time passes from the recording of the video, the numbers will be different. The most important thing about this exercise is getting practice searching the database and utilizing the tools that it has available.
Let's get started. Section A is all about how to get to the database. Step 1 asks us to go to the library's homepage, library.fullerton.edu, where we can access all of the library's online resources. Step 2 directs us to click on the databases icon. Next, Step 3 asks us to use the Subjects drop-down menu to select Child and Adolescent Studies, then click Search. Once we find APA PsycInfo on the CAS databases list, Step 4 directs us to click on the title to enter the database. Now that we're in the database, Section B is all about how to start our search. We want to start broadly, so we'll start with some general keywords. Step 5 directs us to enter dual immersion into the first box. Step 6 mentions how we should leave the connector "and" in between the two search boxes, and then enter language development in the second box. Leaving the "and" between these two keywords or concepts will tell the database that we want it to find articles about dual immersion and language development and how these two things interact with each other. And finally, Step 7 directs us to click Search. Now we've got some results. However, this list has fewer results than I would like to start with. So I'd like to cast a wider net to get more results. I can do that by broadening with the Boolean connector OR. Section C is all about how to do that. Step 8 tells us to click on Advanced Search under the search boxes, and that will take us to a screen that will make modifying the search easier. Step 9 tells us to add OR bilingual education to box 1. When you add OR to your search terms, you will see that the database will show you a list of suggestions of strings of keywords. This can be helpful to give you an idea of additional ways to describe the topics you're researching, as well as the language the literature is using to describe them. Step 10 is a reminder to leave the "and" that is connecting the search terms. Step 11 tells us to add some search terms in box 2. So I'll add the string of or language acquisition or language learning. There's a screenshot below this section of the exercise to show us what the search should look like. And then Step 12 tells us to click Search. So now that we have a larger list of results, we can start using the tools in the database to narrow our results to articles that are about our research topics and meet the rest of the criteria of the assignment. Section D is all about refining your results using the filters in the database. Step 13 tells us to click on the All Filters button under the search boxes. Now we can access the filters. Step 14 tells us to click the button for peer-reviewed articles. Step 15 tells us to open the publication date filter and select the past 10 years. Step 16 tells us to open the age filter and select school-aged children. Since we want to make sure that we're finding empirical articles, which are articles that detail original research that was done, we will follow step 17 and open the methodology filter and select empirical study. And now step 18 says click apply. Another way you can further narrow your results is by subject. Each article in the database has subject headings assigned to it to describe what it is about and also to give us a way to narrow results by subject. Section E walks us through how to do that. Step 19 tells us to click the All Filters button again, and then click the Subject Major Heading filter. Step 20 tells us to click More to see the full list of subject headings available from which to select. Step 21 tells us to browse the list of subject headings. Step 22 asks us to select bilingual education and language development. And then step 23 tells us to click Update Selections and then Apply. You may also have noticed within the filter menu that there is a plain subject filter. This database has a hierarchy of subject headings. So the subject major heading filter narrows by subjects that are the main topic of the articles. The regular subject filter narrows to subjects that are secondary or tertiary subjects discussed in the articles. I would recommend you stick with the subject major headings filter so you can find articles that are primarily about the topics that you are researching. Section F is really just a heads up to make sure that you keep an eye on your filters. Sometimes in the process of selecting filters, APA PsycInfo may take some of them off. Step 24 reminds us that we can click on the All Filters button at any time to see which filters are currently being applied. If any have been accidentally taken off, you can always reapply them here. Now that we have a list of articles that should be about our topics and meet the other criteria of the assignment, we can start evaluating the results to see which articles will be helpful to our research. This is what section G is all about. Step 25 tells us if we click on the title of any article, we will be taken to the record for the article. Step 26 mentions that the record contains all of the descriptive information about the article, as well as the abstract, which is a brief summary of the article. Step 27 asks us if there is a tool for generating a citation of the article in the record. Yes, there is, and it is up in the toolbar at the top of the page and looks like open quotation marks. When clicking on this, you can see examples of how to cite this article in multiple citation styles, including APA. These examples are rarely 100% correct, so use them as a starting point and then consult your citation manual or other citation resource to make any necessary corrections. Step 28 tells us to click on Results to go back to the list of results. Once you have found the citations for the articles you want to use for your research, then you can find out how to access the full text of those articles. Section H is how to go about doing just that. Step 29 explains that if the article is available in APA PsycInfo, you will see an Access Options drop-down menu. When you click on that and open it, you will likely find that there is a PDF version available. Once the PDF is open, you can download the PDF or click the Share arrow to email the article or save it to Google Drive, OneDrive, or get a permalink. The permalink is a permanent link that will not change. If you like to keep track of your articles by using link, the permalink will be your best bet. Step 30 points out that there are also listen and accessibility support tools in the record. The listen tool will allow you to listen to the article in the database or download an MP3 file. The accessibility support tool will allow you to fill out a form to request content remediation and is intended for use by those with disabilities. Step 31 tells us that if the full text of the article is not available in APA PsycInfo, then we will see a Find It at Pollock Library button. Click on that to see where the full text of the article is. And step 32 tells us that if the full text is in another library database, there will be a link you can click on to get to that. If the full text is not in APA PsycInfo or another library database, you will see a Sign in for More Options button. That means you can get the article using Interlibrary Loan, or ILL, which is covered in Section I. Interlibrary loan is the sharing of books and articles between libraries. If this is the case for your article, Step 33 directs us to click on the Sign in for More Options button and log in with your portal login information. Step 34 mentions that once you are logged in, you will be given instructions on how to make the request for your article. And finally, Section J is all about the search history tool in APA PsycInfo. Step 35 tells us that this can be found by looking under My Dashboard in the left margin and then by clicking on Recent Activity. Step 36 tells us that if it is not already highlighted, click on the Search History tab to view searches. You will see a reverse chronological list of all the searches you have done in that session. Each time you apply filters or modify your keywords, that will be counted as a search. Step 37 asks us to record the number of searches. For this particular exercise, it was 4. And step 38 lets us know that clicking on Viewed Records will show you the articles that you clicked on during your search session. Congratulations, you finished the exercise. I hope this was helpful to introduce you to APA PsycInfo and understand how you can use it to find the research that you need for your CAS assignments.